Imagine two friends, same neighborhood, same school, same opportunities. Both start their adult lives with almost nothing. Now, fast forward nearly 50 years. One retires comfortably with hundreds of thousands of dollars invested. The other spends his retirement worrying about money. What caused the difference? It wasn't a higher salary. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a winning lottery ticket. It was one simple habit: investing just $100 a month. And the crazy part?
The person who ended up ahead wasn't a financial genius. He simply started early. Meet Jake. Jake turned 18 in the summer of 2001. Like most teenagers, he wasn't thinking about retirement. He wasn't thinking about the stock market. He wasn't thinking about financial freedom. He was thinking about friends, cars, and having enough money for the weekend. After graduation, Jake got a part-time job at a local grocery store. The paycheck wasn't huge, but for the first time in his life, he had money of his own. And like most young adults, he spent it. Movies, fast food, video games, gas money, weekend fun. Nothing unusual. Then one day, something happened that changed the way he looked at money forever. An older employee named Frank was talking during lunch break. Frank had worked for more than 35 years. Jake assumed Frank was close to retirement. But Frank quietly admitted something that shocked everyone. He couldn't afford to stop working. After decades of hard work, he still needed the paycheck. That conversation stayed in Jake's mind for weeks, maybe months, because it forced him to ask a question most people avoid. What happens if I spend my entire life working and still don't have enough? That question led Jake down a rabbit hole. He started reading books, watching finance videos, listening to podcasts, and eventually he discovered something almost nobody had taught him. Money can grow on its own. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily. Over long periods of time. The concept sounded almost too simple. Invest consistently. Be patient. Let time do the heavy lifting. That's it. No secret formula, no complicated strategy, no financial wizardry, just consistency. So at 18 years old, Jake opened an investment account and he made a commitment. Every month, he would invest $100, no matter what. Not $500, not $1,000, just $100. At first, it felt pointless. After all, what can $100 really do? The answer seemed obvious. Not much. 1 year passed, then another. Jake kept investing. His friends didn't understand it. Some even laughed. While Jake was investing, they were spending. New phones, better cars, weekend trips, expensive habits. And honestly, it looked like they were winning. Because in the beginning, investing is boring, painfully boring. There are no fireworks, no dramatic transformations, no overnight success stories. Most months look exactly the same. You put money in, you wait. That's it. And that's exactly why so many people quit. People love excitement. They love fast results. Investing offers neither. But Jake stayed consistent, even when life became difficult, even when unexpected expenses appeared, even when the market dropped, even when fear filled the news, because he learned something important. The stock market rewards patience more than intelligence. Years passed. Jake entered his 20s, started building a career, moved into his first apartment, got promotions, earned more money. But one thing never changed. Every month, another $100, automatically invested, without debate, without emotion, without trying to predict the future. And slowly, something started happening. The money he invested years ago began generating returns. Then those returns generated their own returns. Then those returns generated even more returns. It's almost like planting a tree. The first few years feel disappointing. You water it, you care for it, you wait, and it barely changes. But beneath the surface, roots are growing. Strength is building. The foundation is expanding. Investing works the same way. Most growth happens where you can't see it. That's why people underestimate it. At age 25, Jake looked at his account. The balance wasn't life-changing, but it was growing. At age 30, the growth became more noticeable. For the first time, he realized something incredible. Some of the money appearing in the account wasn't coming from him anymore. His investments were starting to contribute. While he slept, while he worked, while he spent time with family, his money
kept working. That's one of the most powerful ideas in finance. You can only work so many hours. Your money can work forever. Meanwhile, many of Jake's friends were facing a different reality. Some earned more money than he did. Some drove nicer cars. Some looked successful from the outside. But behind closed doors, many were struggling. Credit card debt, car payments, financial stress, living paycheck to paycheck. Because earning money and building wealth are not the same thing. One creates income, the other creates freedom.
And freedom takes time. As Jake entered his 40s, the difference became impossible to ignore. His account was growing faster than ever, not because he was investing more, because compounding was finally taking over. The snowball was getting bigger, much bigger, and every year it rolled faster. The funny thing about compound growth is that it doesn't look impressive in the beginning. Most people quit before they reach the exciting part. Imagine watching a movie and leaving after the first 10 minutes. You never see the ending.
That's what many investors do. They stop right before the payoff arrives. Jake didn't. He stayed patient, and patience started paying him back. At age 45, he noticed something remarkable. The annual growth in his account sometimes exceeded what he personally contributed. Think about that. His money was producing more money than he was adding. That's when wealth building starts feeling real. Not because you become rich overnight, because you finally realize your future is changing every month, every year, without requiring constant effort. Fast forward again. Jake is now 55. Retirement no longer feels like a distant dream. It feels possible, very possible. For the first time in his life, he can see the finish line, and something else becomes clear. The majority of his wealth wasn't created in the early years. It was created in the later years. That's the hidden secret nobody talks about. The final years of compounding are often the most powerful. Time creates momentum. Momentum creates growth. Growth creates more growth. And suddenly, decades of patience begin paying off. Then comes age 65, the age many people dream about, retirement. Jake sits on his porch one morning with a cup of coffee. The sun is rising, the world is quiet, and for the first time, he realizes he has options. He doesn't have to work. He can if he wants to, but he doesn't have to. That freedom didn't appear overnight.
It wasn't built by one huge decision. It was built by thousands of small decisions, month after month, year after year, $100 at a time. And that's the lesson. Most people think wealth is created by massive actions. In reality, wealth is usually built through ordinary actions, repeated consistently for extraordinary lengths of time. The biggest mistake people make isn't choosing the wrong investment. It's waiting too long to start, because time is the one thing money can never buy back. Every year you delay is a year compounding doesn't get to work for you. And the earlier you start, the less money you often need to invest. That's why investing isn't really about money. It's about time. And whether you're 18, 25, 35, or even 45, the best moment to start building your future is before another year disappears. Because one day, your future self will look back at the decisions you're making right now, and they'll either be grateful you started or wish you had. The choice begins today.